Nevertheless I long, I pine, all my days, to travel home and see the dawn of my return. And if a god will wreck me, yet again on the wine-dark sea, I can bear that too, with a spirit tempered to endure. Much have I suffered, laboured long and hard by now, in the waves and wars. Add this to the total. Bring the trial on. Nostalgia is a powerful emotion. I do not mean, remember that sunny delight we used to drink, or wasn't happy days so fun, though such sentiments might be shallow manifestations of my meaning. I refer to the deep-rooted, powerful yearning for home, for the reality of home, and of what home means as a concept. This is what Ulysses yearns for in that quote, and this is what we feel today, thousands of years later, and no less strongly in light of present difficulties. The positive vision, much talked of in dissident circles as of late, is an expression of that yearning. It is less of a thing in and of itself, more an empty category, a set into which we must imagine some more solid concepts. We desire home, but we do not fully know what it is we want. To give a brief overview of the dialogue as of the date of this video's release. The notable YouTuber, Academic Agent, who is the informal leader of his own digital community, has set out to create such a positive vision, which is both abstract enough to be universal, as his community is disparate and international, while being solid enough to be meaningful. Other YouTubers within the same and adjacent communities have countered with various critiques, which I shall not discuss in detail here. A strong thread of criticism comments upon the vagueness of Academic Agent's thesis, its lack of place in true reality, which, of course, could be countered in turn by reminding the critic that the vision is supposed to be perennial, containing universal wisdom that can be applied particularly. Personally, I'm not too enthralled by this dialogue of universalism versus particularism. To be honest, the critics of the positive vision strike me as men motivated by a desire to be seen as outflanking Academic Agent on the right, and hoping thereby to gain prestige and face. This, I admit, is speculation. If you are one of those YouTubers who has made a video critiquing the positive vision, and that was not your intention, I apologise. Nevertheless, I shall now throw something of a mental feast for the particularists, outlining a more substantial vision for a particular place. As I know it well, that place shall be Britain, more specifically, England. Note, however, that this is not a thesis of my own. This is merely an example for the purposes of emphasising a more significant problem, perhaps the most significant problem for the enactment of a positive vision outside of the need for capital. Therefore, imagine, if you will, a large village. Let's call it Ambridge, tucked away in an obscure valley in the far north of England. It is apart from the rest of the country, like many other small and sleepy settlements, cradles of times gone by. But unlike all the others, it is new. The apparently Tudor buildings are, in fact, less than a year old, and are built sturdily with modern techniques. They rise 3 or even 4 stories tall and sit close together, so that the population therein feels close, and that they might be protected from the elements when they walk down the narrow streets of the village. In Ambridge, there is one primary employer, a small but profitable publishing house, quietly proper for a village which appears so traditional, but is, in fact, breathtakingly revolutionary, albeit in an entirely singular way. This company, just like the residents, is in a state of silent revolt. It is avoiding paying as much tax as might be legal, and with the support of the villagers, it is assured that this village will grow extraordinarily rich, bedecking the surrounding butchers, bakeries, tailors, and so on with proportional wealth. Wealth which they hope will attract yet more people, enough people to allow them to sway the constituency in which they reside, if it is required. Much effort has been put into this place, many thousands of man-hours, and no few millions of pounds. Yet the streets are empty. There is no one around. They are not inside their houses. The clock atop the tower, the Ambridge clock, which tells the time steadily, sensibly, never too quickly, never too slowly, has stopped. Everyone has left, because no one, not even the founder, could stand living within his vision. For all the people who briefly inhabited this village do not belong. Their minds whizzed too quickly. Their hearts beat in discordance. They came from all over Britain, occasionally beyond, and found that despite their very amiable conversations over the internet, they were all very different peoples. Yet what they all had in common is what most propelled them away from sleepy Ambridge. They were creatures of the modern world. They were used to the buzz of the television, the thrum of the motor engine, the ease of the Amazon delivery. All of them knew what they were giving up when they moved to the village, but few knew what that really meant. This is one of the largest, most human pitfalls of the Positive Vision's enactment. We all yearn for something different. Nostalgia has a home in our hearts, yet it is surrounded by rotten tissue, a cancer which smothers our hope in the crib. We are ignorant to the life of which we dream. Our mental constructs have been moulded by decades of modern socialization. We hate this conditioning, but it is a part of us. The struggle for Ambridge, Trumpton, whatever it might be called, is also a struggle for the control of our own hearts.